Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Okay, dear friends, welcome to another session of System Engineering Design course. Today we are going to discuss about the tools for enabling creative development. As you know, any design or product design or a system design is a group activity, and we need to have people with different capabilities, different strengths to do a very good design or to have a purposeful design. So in this lecture we will try to identify few aspects of team building, team formation, team building, and the planning for the development of a design project. So what we are trying to cover here is basically two things. One is development of teams. As you can see, the team composition, how do you choose the team members, proper selection of team members, and then team building and team evaluation. How do we build a good team and how do we evaluate the performance of a good team for making the project a successful one. And in addition to that, we will be looking at the project planning also. We will be looking at the what to plan, when to do a task, or what are the tasks to be done, when it to be done, and where it has to be done, and how we will do this task. So these two things, basically the formation of teams and team planning, they are very important in the project success. So we will look at these things, and these are actually the tools for creative development processes. So to remove the barriers that obscure our collective imagination. So as you know, it is a collective efforts, the design is a collective efforts. We need to have the energy fully focused on a particular project, and we need to have a collective imagination, and we need to make sure that everyone works for the particular project and make sure that it reaches the logical end of successful design of a project or a system. Now let us go to the development of team. That is the first task, the teamwork. As you know, teamwork is one of the most important aspect of any group activity. As you can see here, the success of any teamwork or any project activity, the averaged importance is shown here in this chart. As you can see here, team working is one of the most important parameter here. It is around 15.32% weightage for that one compared to the practical application and theoretical understanding. So it is only slightly less than the creativity and innovation. It is not only sufficient that the team is very creative and innovative, there need to be a very good team building and team activity in order to make sure that the whole effort is concentrated on the project and everyone understands the project goals, everyone works for the project, and everyone is committed to the success of the project. So in order to do this, first what we need to do a formation of a team. So how do we form a team? What are the basic requirements for the formation of a team? So we can define the team as two or more persons engaged in a common goal who are dependent on one another for results and who have joint accountability for the outcome. As you can see, these terms are very important. A team is basically a group of two or more persons engaged in a common goal. So that is important. The goal is common for everyone. It is not for the team leader's goal or someone else's goal. The goal is for everyone, and who are dependent on one another for results. It is very important. Everyone depends on the other person for the result. It is not that one person alone can do the job. If that was the case, then we do not need to have a group or many people working on in the group. So here you can see that they are dependent on one another for results and who have joint accountability for the outcome. So the accountability is also a joint accountability. So everyone is responsible for the outcome of a project. Now in order to form that group, the definition is there, but more than this definition, there are number of necessary characteristics that must exist to be an effective team. So it is not only that okay, we are jointly accountable and we have the common goal, that alone is not sufficient. There are some other characteristics should be there where everyone can understand the goals and the objectives and how to work together, and these characteristics are defined or summarized as pride principles. So you can see that they are, this actually you can see the purpose, respect, individuals, discussions, excellence. So these are the pride principles of a very good team, or for good teamwork we need to follow these principles. The purpose is nothing but the mission statement or the goal of the project. So everyone understands the goal of the project, that is the purpose is understood very well by all the team members and everyone understands it in the same way. It is not that someone understands the objective in one way and the other one thinks that in a different way. So the mission statement or a goal what we develop, or a mission statement what we develop is the initial stage of the development, that is understandable to everyone. So everyone understands the purpose of the formation of the team. The next one is respect. Respect is basically the trust and support. So you have good trust between your members, you trust your partners, you trust their capability and you respect them also. So that is also there, you respect their capability and then support them also whenever needed. So that is the respect. Then individuals. So enhance creativity through respecting individual differences. Not two members are same or they have qualities or same capabilities. So there are differences between members. So we need to understand this difference and accept that difference, then only you can accept the other person as your partner or your team member. So ensure that you understand the plus and minus qualities of your partner and make sure that that is enough for you to make sure that he contributes the team well. So you enhance the creativity through respecting individual differences. Then discussions. So discussions is this is one of the important parts. So we need to have very good discussion between the team members. We need to discuss all the issues from the starting to the end of the project. You need to have proper discussion and communication. So communication is very important, and consensus. So when you have there is a difference of opinion, we should try to reach to a consensus and then go on from there, that point. And then excellence, this is for strive for excellence. So everyone should strive to excel in the work. So we know that there is a mission, there is a goal to be achieved. So everyone should work for the best output from the team. So that is the excellence in teamwork. Now coming to this, okay, the pride principles is the one which actually guide you through the formation of the team or through the working of the team. Now what are the roles for different team members? So you know, in a team there will be different roles. So the team roles relate to the professional needs of the particular project. So beyond technical expertise, members of teams must also fulfill roles as general problem solvers and team players. So there are many roles to be played in the team. So it is not that somebody is very good in technical aspects or somebody is very good in doing some hands-on, that alone is not sufficient. There are many other roles to be satisfied by the team members. So what are these roles which need to be played by the team members? Okay, there are many roles. You can see that administrator could be one person who actually administrates the project, or he will be a reviewer who will review the project at regular intervals, or he can be a troubleshooter or an inspector. Whenever some problem comes up, this person will act as a troubleshooter and he will make sure that everything is going smooth. So whenever the problem comes, he acts as a troubleshooter. Then there are producer, or the who will make the mock-up or who will make the prototypes, manager, coordinator. Then there are other like expeditor, investigator, conciliator, performer, mock-up maker, prototype modeler. So these are roles, many roles or different roles to be played by team members. There are many more. A visionary, a strategist. A visionary is one actually looks beyond the present project, or he looks at the total outcome of the project and what will happen if something goes wrong at this level, what will be the outcome at the end of the project. So he is a visionary who actually plans ahead for the project. Like that, there are diplomat is one actually who will interact with others, not only within the team, with outside the team also, and have proper communication with their clients, the stakeholders, and whoever is involved in the project. Like that, you can see there are many roles: simulator, innovator, director, programmer. But at any time, team members will be playing any of these roles. So though they are not assigned such a task like a manager or a simulator or a person who actually a diplomat, at some time we will be forced to play such roles. So it should be kept in mind that all persons perform all of these roles to some degree or other. So sometime we will be playing many of these roles. And then how do we assign these roles to different people? So what are the ways to identify the strength of a person or his characteristics to ensure that yes, this person is good for this particular role? or this person is very good in mathematics, so he will be good in as a analysis or a simulator, or this person is very good in communication, so let us give him a role as a diplomat or a conciliator. So how do we actually assign these tasks? As you can see, it is very difficult to identify the real qualities or the real characteristics of a person. So you can see here it is easier to go to Mars or to the moon than it is to penetrate one's own being. So we do not really know how does a person behave in a group. So there are no direct methods to see whether this person will be a perfect fit in the group. That is why when any company select the students for their employees, they will actually do many tests to find out whether this person is, what is his inner person, what is how he behaves under different situations. To form the team also, we need to identify the characteristics of these people and then make sure that they are actually fit for a particular task, or we need to analyze the personality of a member before we actually assign a team role to him. So how do we do this? There are some standard methods to do this, and we will go through those steps at a later stage, but there are methods to do this, and how one way of doing this is known as a method called MBTI. I will come back to that shortly. Okay, so when we form a team or when we try to start a project, we need to form a team and then develop the team and then evaluate the team. So there are 5 stages in the development of a good team. As you can see here, first one is the forming, that is the formation of a team. So here the team members are selected and the team is formed, and then next stage is storming. So after forming we have a storming, where when disagreements arise, team members get to know each other and relationships develop. So this is the stage where it is actually maturing the team relationship. So the disagreements will arise, team members get to know each other and relationships develop at this stage. The third one is known as norming. Norming is nothing but when agreements are made, relationships are mature and conflicts are settled. So from the stage of storming, try to know each other well, and then the agreements are made and relationships mature and conflicts are settled. So in your case also you will see that now teams have been formed. So initially you will be having some trouble, starting troubles will be there. You may find that somebody is not working or somebody is not listening to you, but that is a stage of storming. So once you go through that stage of storming, you will reach the stage of norming, when relationships will be stable and the conflicts are settled, you are ready to carry out your task. Then it comes the performing, then the team will actually make progress towards the goal. So the project is given to you, you go through these 3 stages of forming, storming and norming. So once the norming stage is done, you are perfectly alright, the team as a team you are very good at that stage, and then you will start performing and you reach the goal, and then adjourning the team, that is the project is over, no more the team is needed, so you adjourn and then wait for the next project. So there are 5 stages, every team has to go through these stages, then only it will be actually first 3 stages has to go through, then only real performance of the team starts. Okay, so we will see how the formation takes place. This I already mentioned. I told you that the team formation is the first part, where we need to select the team members to do a particular task. How do we select the persons for a job, or we have already got 4 members in a team or 5 members in a team? How do you assign the different tasks and different roles to the members? And for this we need to know the personality type of an individual. So what is his strength, what role he will perform very well, what are the characteristics this particular person holds, and which will be suitable for the team, because you know the team and you know the task to the team. So we will decide how you can assign a role to a particular person. And to understand this, there is a method called Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI. Have you heard about it? No. Okay, so this is the to some extent a psychological test we can say, but it is not really a psychology, it is more of your own assessment of what are your strengths. So in this MBTI, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, it is a very simple measurement indicator of how people behave and contribute in a work environment. So this will try to classify the individuals based on the way they behave and contribute in a work environment. So it is nothing but a simple measurement indicator, which everyone can make their own assessment and then see what kind of a characteristics individual possess. So what are the classifications here? So here it describes 4 categories to distinguish personality. Okay, so there are 4 categories of individual, or we can actually distinguish them into 4 categories. The first one is how a person is energized, extraversion versus introversion. Okay, extraversion versus introversion. So we know, okay, extraverted people and introverted people, okay, it is the same thing. How a person is energized, I will explain the details of these categories so that you can actually make your own assessment of your type. So how a person is energized, so the extraversion people will get energy from outside, so he wants people around him, he wants to be always going out and then doing things with people, so such people are extraverted. Introverted people are more to inner self, they will get their energy from their own self, they think, they try to analyze things and then get the energy from that. That is the how a person is energized. Then what a person pays attention to, so that is the next category, a sensory versus intuition. Someone believe on their senses, take the data from the sense other sources and they pay attention to those, but others will pay attention to their intuition. They do not take the information coming directly through their senses, they apply their own intuition and then try to get the information from that. So that is the a person pays attention to as a sensory or intuition. Then how a person decides, so how the person will take a decision, on what basis he will take a decision. So it is for the thinking versus feeling. So those who are thinking, they will think about the outcomes and other aspects and then take a decision. Others will more on the feeling, okay, what will happen to other people, so what should I, whether I should do this because others will get hurt or something like that. So that is the way others will take the feeling. So what are feeling people, and what kind of outlook on life person adopts, that is a judgment versus perception. This also I will explain what is judgment and what is perception. So these are the 4 categories, how a person is energized, what a person pays attention to, how a person decides, and what kind of outlook on life a person adopts. Now every person actually cannot be a E or an I, so we in short form we call it as E or I, S or N, T or F and J or P. So nobody can be actually E and I, okay, they will be having strength in one side, so it cannot be 50-50 always, most of the cases, there may be exceptions, but that can be either an E or an I, or S or an N, T or a F, J or P. So based on this we can actually classify a person as ESTJ or ESTP or ISFP or ISFJ, like that we can actually classify the characteristics of individuals. So this actually indicates the type of person, how he is energized, what he pays attention to, how a person decides and what kind of outlook on life a person adopts. Okay, so let us go into these details. Okay, what is an E? So for each category of type a person is assumed to have an intrinsic preference for one of each pair, so that is what I told you. So one of each pair, so it can be either E or I, one of each pair over the other, thereby defining 16 different personality types. You can get more information from the book Kevin Otto and Christine Woods. So let us see what is the difference between E and I. As you can see, the extraverted person will act first and think, reflect later, so he do not really think before acting, okay, sudden action will be coming, and he feel deprived when cut off from interaction with the outside world, so he wants to be always with the people, so he cannot cut off from the society or cut off from the people, so he always gets energy from the other people or who are around him. He is usually open to and motivated by outside world of people and things, enjoy wide variety and change in people relationships, so he likes wide variety. So a person who really outspoken and goes out and enjoys people company, enjoy party and things like that, so that person is an extraverted, and these people really cannot be isolated or cannot be alone. So if you have this kind of people and send them for a vacation in an island with no one else, that is equivalent to a what you call a lifetime imprisonment or a sentence for him. So always they want to be among the people or they want to get energy from people. There was a real incident where one multinational company who actually went to sales and marketing, so they have many sales people, most of the sales people will be extroverted, so they want to go with people and interact with people. So when this company where they are making a lot of money, they decided that everyone will have independent cubicles in the office, so So initially they were all sitting together in a hall and enjoying the life, then they thought that okay, now let us provide them independent cubicles to everyone, and most of them were happy. Initially they thought, oh, I have a room so I can do whatever I want, and after 1 month the company found that their productivity has come down, their sales has gone down, and then they try to analyze what is happening. Then they realize that these people cannot be kept in a cubicle, they want to be always with other people. So they removed all the cubicles and put them back into the same hall where they can interact, they can chit chat, and they can do whatever they want. So these are the people who cannot be left alone, so they are usually open and motivated by others, they want energy from others. The opposite is the introverted characteristics. They think, reflect first and then act, they do not immediately act, they will take some time to think and then only they will act. They regularly require an amount of private time to recharge batteries, so they always need some private time so that they can recharge their batteries. That batteries in the sense they will be recharged, or they will feel that they get the energy from being alone, or they think about it and then get energy. And similarly they are motivated internally, mind is sometimes so active it is close to outside world, so they are internally very active, they will be thinking a lot, they will be getting different ideas to do things, and so they will be getting lot of energy and lot of ideas from inside. So they will be always, most of the time they will be close to outside worlds, and they prefer one-to-one communication and relationships. Okay, so this is the E versus I characteristics. I hope all of you have received this form. So this is the form where actually you can see all these explanations. So now since you know between the difference between E and I, you can actually mark your best fit here. So whether you fit into a E or an I. So think about your own characteristics, which way you will fit. I am sure that you will be able to make a judgment, because nobody can be E and I at the same time. Okay, there may be some variation. Okay, you may be a 10% I and a 90% E, that is possible, but then you see which is the strongest part for you and then you mark that as E or I. Okay, now that is for the extroverted and introverted characteristics. Then we see the other one, sensing and intuitive characteristics, S and N. As you can see here, the sensing characteristic people, they mentally live in the now, attending to the present opportunities. So they will be looking at the present opportunities, they do not worry about the what is going to happen in the future. So they are really at present, that is the sense, they believe on their senses, what is coming to them through their senses, that is the present, and they do not worry about anything else. Using common sense and creating practical solutions is automatic and instinctual, use their common sense to get their solutions. Memory recall is rich in detail of facts and past events, so they have very good recall for the past, so they take the incidents from the past and then try to use it for taking decisions. They best improvise from past experience, so they do not, as I told you, they do not worry about the future, they take improvise from the past experience. And they like clear and concrete information, dislike guessing when facts are fuzzy. So they want clear information, they do not like to guess things, and when the information is fuzzy they do not like. But contrary to that, intuitive characteristics, they are mentally live in the future, attending to future possibilities. So they will look at the future, okay, present information is fine, what am I going to do with this in the future? So what are the possible outcomes coming from here from this particular situation? So that is, they will live in the future, they use imagination, and creating, inventing new possibilities is automatic, instinctual. New possibilities is very instinctual for them, so they will always try to create new possibilities from the present situation. Memory recall emphasizes patterns, context and connections. So compared to this are actually the facts, the details of facts are actually memory recalled, but they actually look for the patterns in the past. So because they look for the future, they look for the pattern in the past and then try to apply that into the future. And they best improvise from theoretical understanding. The base theory is improvised, or they understand that one and improvise on these theories. They are comfortable with ambiguous, fuzzy data and with guessing its meaning. So they do not worry about a fuzzy data, they are comfortable with ambiguous data compared to the sensing characteristics. Okay, so you got the difference between sensing and intuitive characteristics. Okay, now you can try to identify what is your characteristics, whether you are a sensing or intuitive. S or N you can mark in your paper. Okay, so that is the sensing and intuitive characteristic. Okay, the next one is thinking versus feeling. So you can see that in thinking characteristics, instinctively search for facts and logic in a decision situation. So they look for facts and logic in a decision situation. Okay, naturally notices tasks and work to be accomplished. So they are actually a thinking characteristic. They will think about the task and other work to be accomplished. Easily able to provide an objective and critical analysis. So they will be able to easily provide you a critical analysis of the situation and very objective and critical analysis of the situation, and they accept conflict as a natural normal part of relationships with people. So conflict is not a difficult thing for them, so they will accept it as a natural part. So yes, I have some difference of opinion, okay, let me try to solve it. So they do not worry about those conflicts, so they will accept it as a normal part of relationship. And feeling characteristics, they instinctively employ personal feelings and impact on people in decision situation. So instead of going for facts or logic, they will look at the feelings. So the personal feelings and impact on people in decision situation. So they will, okay, if I take this decision, what will happen to the other person, how will he feel bad about it, or will he try to do something against me. So that kind of a feeling is more for them, because they do not really look at the logic or facts in decision making. Okay, then they are naturally sensitive to people needs and reactions. Because of their feeling characteristics, they are sensitive to people needs and reactions. Then they naturally seek consensus and popular opinion. So they will always try to get popular opinion, because when everyone accepts that, at least the majority accepts the decision, they feel that okay, I will not be hurting many other people. So he will try to get a consensus on every decision, that because of his feeling characteristics. And unsettled by conflict, have almost a toxic reaction to disharmony. So they are unsettled by conflict, but they have a very toxic reaction to disharmony. They do not really accept the disharmony, they want to have a very harmonious relationship with everybody. So that is the difference between thinking and feeling characteristics. Okay, any questions? Please feel free to ask questions. If you have understood this, then you can write down the letter which actually describes your character. Okay, so T or F. And the last one is judging characteristics versus perceiving characteristics. Okay, so this again making decision, the judging characteristics. So the plan many of the details in advance before moving into action. So the judging characteristic, they really do a very good planning before going into action. Okay, so here the planning is very important for them. They will look for the details of the work to be done in advance before moving into action. They focus on task related action, complete meaningful segments before moving on. So they will look at for the task related action, and then they look for the meaningful segments, what are the really important segments, and they will focus on those segments only. Work best and avoid stress when keep ahead of deadline. So they will try to keep ahead of deadlines. They do not wait for the last moment like the assignments you submit. So they will try to do it well in advance, they plan ahead, and then they try to complete the work well ahead of time, or they plan it ahead so that they will not be under pressure at any time. So they will plan very well, work best and avoid stress and keep ahead of deadlines. Naturally use targets, dates and standard routines to manage life. So they will be having natural targets, okay, I have to do this week, I have to complete the particular task in this many days, and they could keep standard routines to manage life. So every day get up at some time, a particular time, do some work, and then go to office or go to college. So all those things are very well planned, so they follow a particular routine in their life. So that such people are the judging characteristics. The other one is the perceiving characteristic. They are comfortable moving into action without a plan, I will plan on the go. They do not really care for a planning. You give a task, yes, I will go now itself. So they do not really worry about planning ahead and then doing things. So plan on the go. So as we do it, we plan the things and then complete the task. So that is the plan on the go type of people. They like to multitask, have variety, mix work and play. So they want to have variety, they do not try to do the same task 2-3 times. So once you complete it, okay, next time we will go to the next another task. And they like to mix work and play, they want to enjoy the life also, it is not only work. So you mix work and play and then go ahead. Unlike the judging characteristics, he is very routine and very much worried about his routine life and other things, but P is not at all worried about all those things. Naturally tolerant of time pressure, work best close to the deadlines. Okay, so totally opposite. So this person cannot work on pressure, so he will try to do everything well ahead of the timeline, but perceiving characteristics always try to do things on the go, they do not worry, okay, if there is a pressure, yes I will take, tomorrow something I have to submit the assignment, no problem, I will do it tonight, I do not sleep tonight and I will complete the work and submit. So that is the kind of person he is. Instinctively avoid commitments which interfere with flexibility, freedom and variety. So he will not commit anything, okay, he will not say okay I will do this tomorrow, he will say if you ask me to do it tomorrow I will do it, otherwise do not ask me to commit anything, I will do it in my own time, my own pace, so do not worry about that. And because his flexibility will be interfered, so he do not want to commit anything and he wants to have freedom because he want to have the work and play mixed together, so he want to do not make any commitments, he will do in his own time, unless you ask him for a date he will not give any dates, okay. So that is the kind of person P, okay. So now we have covered all the 4 types. Now you actually write down at the last, that is here, yeah, the choose your 4 personality type letters, okay. Now we will see, okay, what is the significance of this personality type. You write down the letters here and keep it with you. I will take one example and then tell you, okay, what is the significance of this characteristic. All of you wrote it? Yes, yeah please. Yes, definitely. No, I think extrovert and introvert cannot be so situation dependent, because that is an inner self, okay, you cannot be an introvert or extrovert at the same time, okay, I mean same time in the sense a person will be having some quality, okay, you may be a 15% introvert or a 85% extrovert, that is possible. So this 15% in some situations he will be keeping quiet because of that particular situation, so but his main characteristics is still E only, okay. So suppose you say that one person is keep on changing from E to I, or he has got a 50-50 E and I, they are very rare situations. So most of the time you will be having a natural what you call tendency to be on one side of the E or I, okay. Again if you go to the detail of this MBTI, you can see that there are still more analysis to be done, because again what will happen if it is 15% I and 85% E, how he actually behaves, so what are the characteristics for such person. So there are some more analysis on this, but we are not going into that much detail, so we will be looking at the top level what is your type in this MBTI classification, okay. Right, all of you wrote, right. So what is your type? You not written? IN, okay, let me see whether I have, oh yeah, I have an INTP, okay. Now how do we interpret this INTP, okay. So this is the INTP, I do not know whether I have it here, okay. This is the summary of MBTI types which I already discussed, okay. It's INTP is not there, but do not worry, I will explain this with this, okay. So this is INTP characteristics, the behavior of an INTP type person. So the green one actually shows that it is the sensing characteristic. So this person, okay, to understand the problem, suppose you give a problem to this person, will take around 12 seconds, okay, for the time being we put in minutes relative value, so it will take around 12 minutes to understand the problem, okay. So and then once he understands the problem, then he will take more time to get a solution, okay, it will take around 20 minutes to get a solution. So problem understanding and getting solution, it is not that different, but it is almost matching, so 12 minutes and 20 minutes, and then to analyze the solution will take much more time. So the solution, getting the solution is not one thing, then keep on analyzing the solution and then finally implementing at the last moment only. So it wait till the last moment to implement a solution, or it will take more time to analyze the solution than implementing the solution. That is the INTP characteristic, okay. I will give the ISTJ here, So this ISTJ is here. So here this person will take a long time to understand the problem. He will not understand the problem in the sense you give a problem, he will think about that problem for a long time. So in this case you can see it takes almost 25 minutes to understand the problem, okay, and once he understood the problem the solution comes very fast. He takes a decision, final solution with a very short span. So he does not need that much time to get a solution, but he takes long time to understand the problem because he will analyze the problem very well, try to understand all the complications, all the intricacies of the problem, and then only he will get into a solution. He will not jump into a solution before that. And once he got the solution, so getting solution is very fast for him, but again he will analyze the solution for a long time. So just getting solution is not sufficient, he will keep on analyzing the solution and then try to implement the solution. So this is the way how he distributes the time for a particular task. If you take it as 60 minutes, then you will see that most of the time he will be spending for analyzing the solution, and then he will go for getting the solution, and then most of the time for understanding the problem, then final solution is very fast, then analyze solution and implement solution. So this is the characteristic of an ISTJ person. Similarly this INFJ also you can see here, you can see that this person INFJ, anybody INFJ, okay, yeah, 2 INFJ. So this person basically if you give a problem, okay, no problem, oh yeah, I understood the problem, let me start working on the solution, okay, and then he will keep on working on the solution where a lot of time he will be keep on working for the solution to find a solution, okay, then he find a solution. So is he not worried about the details of the solution, okay, on the way I will try to find out the problem itself and then try to set the solution also, and then he will get a solution, then he will try to analyze and it will take a long time to implement it because he is not sure of the solution or he is not sure of the problem also, okay. So he will take okay, nothing against you, okay, it's quite natural for anybody. So this is, it will take a long time to implement the solution because he did not understand the problem very well or he did not try to look at the problem in detail, so that is why he takes a long time to understand or to implement the solution. So that is the type of people INFJ. So like this for any characteristics you can, pardon, any questions? Yeah, so for like this we can actually see any characteristics. I have many here, if anybody wants I can just tell you if I have a paper here for that. Yeah, ESTP, let me see if I have it, I will tell you. ESTP, yes, you are here, okay, this is ESTP, okay. Almost like ISTJ, right. So in this case he takes a long time to understand the problem, gets a solution very fast, analyze the solution and then try to implement it, okay, it is almost like an ISTJ only, okay. Anyone else? Please stand up, one of you, okay, then I will tell you. INTJ, sorry I do not have the INTJ with me here, probably I will ask somebody, okay, anybody ESTP, ESFP, okay, you are not much different. ISFP, ISTP, no, oh you are confusing me. Okay, ISTP, anybody? ISTP, okay, okay, this is ISTP, fine, okay. So this is just to tell you how people will behave, different people. So somebody will directly jump into a solution without really understanding the problem, somebody will try to take a long time to understand the problem, then get a solution very fast and then they try to implement, somebody will analyze the solution very fast and then implement it, somebody will not implement it unless they analyze it completely and then last minute they implement. So these are the ways in which we actually get the characteristic. Oh, this is INTP and this is ESFP, okay. So these are the ways you actually get it. So it can be effectively used for improving communications within the team besides motivating team discussions, it can be used to understand team roles and potential weaknesses that may exist in a team. Okay, of course this can be used for many good applications, but it should not be used for any bad applications also. Okay, so you can see that managerial uses of MBTI: do use the MBTI to understand individual preferences, improve communication, resolve conflict, and improve team decision making. Okay, but it should not be used to define skills, abilities, or intelligence. It has nothing to do with the intelligence or abilities of a person, it is only the way people behave. Okay, so that is a totally different, so not individual behave in the same way. So we will try to identify that behavior pattern only, not the skills or abilities here. Place value on one team member over another. Just because I am ISTJ, I am not better than ISFP or INFP, so there is no value on place value just because of team member, and make assumptions about people. So do not make any assumptions about people based on the MBTI classification. And just for your information, this is me, okay, ISTJ. Any ISTJs here? Oh, okay, good. Okay. See, once we identify this for the member characteristics, okay, we form the team, and then this MBTI helps us to understand type of person and what is the way he behaves, and that is just for your understanding of the team structure only, or to select the people, right people for right jobs. So once we identify the people and select the people, the next task is to basically form the team. So how do we develop a team, or how do we ensure that the team has got good cohesion, they understand each other, and for that we do the task of team building. So we need to build teams based on for a particular task. So we already identified the people, so that is not sufficient. We need to have some task or some kind of activities which help us to understand the team members and work together with the team members before we really jump into the real design problem. So as you can see, a variety of team building exercises may be created and implemented to create a successful team. So when we want to create a successful team, so first we select the people, right people, try to identify their characteristics so that we can give different roles to them, and once we have that team formation in place, then the next task is team building. So we need to identify few activities which will help us to form a good team or build a good team, and these are known as team building activities. Okay, so any team building activity should have the characteristics. So we know that team building activity is something to ensure that we take this opportunity or this particular activity to make sure that everyone understands each other, there is a good relationship between the team members, they can work together, they understand that if there are any conflicts or anything is there, we can understand it in the initial stage itself and try to solve them before we really get into the real product development. So any team building activity should have some characteristics like a clear goal or set of goals that are non-obvious, that cannot be solved by inspection or previous knowledge. So we will take an activity which is not very obvious, we have a goal which is not very obvious, so we will take that one which is not something what we do in a normal situation or in a normal routine. So we will try to take some activities with a clear goal or set of goals that are non-obvious. Then a task that requires team cooperation and leadership for success. So the activity what we are choosing require some kind of team cooperation and leadership to succeed, otherwise that activity will not having any influence on the team development. Then inherent risk of failure at least partially. So if there is a chance of failure, people will try to act in a better way, so that there should be some risk of failure. If there is no risk of failure, everyone will take it lightly. So any team building activity should have some kind of a risk, inherent risk for failure. Then a task that is not part of the everyday job or actual project, so it should be a different one, and a facilitator to help guide the team when catalyst is needed, and there should be a facilitator who will actually look at the team performance, how they are doing it, and then try to act as a catalyst who will help to guide the team for improving their performance. And an independent observer that records the performance and responses of the team outside the heat of the battle, and there will be an independent observer who will look at the performance of the team members, and then he will record the things, okay, who is behaving in what way, who helps the others, who actually tries to solve the problem, or who acts as a a conciliator or who try to create problems in the team. So all those things will be recorded by a independent observer. So these things actually helps to identify the behavior of team members. And then finally a forum to discuss the activity, analyzing successes and failures. So we will do, after the team building activity is completed, we will have an open discussion with the members to try to see, okay, what went wrong, what were the positive aspects of the activity, what are the points where we need to focus, what are the weaknesses in the team, and how do we improve on these weaknesses. Those things will be analyzed here. Okay, so what we need to do is to do few activities here, team building activity. So I have two activities for you. The first one is okay, I don't want to give the name of the activity now. So since we don't have the time today to do this, we will do the activities tomorrow. So come prepared. I will ask a few volunteers to come over here and then do some activities, and then we will have some observers, and I will give chance to others also to participate, and we will see how to do a team building activity, how to become an observer, how do we record the behavior of the team members. Okay, so we will do these activities in tomorrow's class, and then we will look at the planning aspect also of the project in the class tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much.